Welcome back, guys. We've created a material design and it's just for us to have some design assets from material design. It's as simple as that. I want to create a wireframe, but I won't design them from scratch. I'll use my VCD AI again. We talked about VCD AI, so I'm going to use that again to create a low fidelity design to be used. So here we have UI design software for everyone, and you could just click on get VCD or you continue with your Gmail. I've shown you how to open VCD and all that. So we are continuing with our Gmail, and here is VCD. So here in VCD, we are going to start afresh. We are going to start to create our design, and to do that, all we have to do is to start our design, and we are going to come to our search, or we just go to, let's do something. Let's go to our, okay, let's create a new workspace. Let's say, yes, let me say something like this. So let me create a new workspace right now. I'll choose a free plan, and here we are. So add members to, I'll just say take me to my workspace, and here we are. So we are in a workspace right now, and what I want to do right now is to start by designing. So you could see different designs right here. You could create a blank board, you could start with a template, you could say start with AI, you could import, you could do all those things. So let's start with templates. So let's start with a screen template, and let's see some templates we could use right now. And this is VCD AI. It's just for you to create something as fast as you could. So you could create screens, you could create for web and mobile. I've told you that before. You could create iFi, create low fee, but right now I want to create low fee designs, not high fee designs. So I'm going to click on low fee, and that's to be mobile. And here you have a launch screen, you have a login screen, so you could create different sets of low fee designs. So you could see right here we have the launch screen, we have the login, and we have the app home page, we have the admin dashboard. So we'll design one or two things. We're going to design something from here. We have the settings, we have the modal dialogues, so you could come here to create things. So we have onboarding right here. So I'll start by using onboarding. So there are different sections of creating things like this. So we have the onboarding, we have everything you needed to do. So you could start with the launch screen. The first thing you see on an app is the launch screen. So you could actually create a launch screen. You could actually choose something to use for a launch screen right here. As you can see, we have different launch screen right here, and all you have to do is to choose the one you want. So we have discover the world at your fingertips, we have something like this, we have something like this. So we have different launch screen. That's all it means in general. So what I want to do now is I could easily go back. Anyways, I could just go back and start the whole thing again. So I could say lofi design again, and let's take something like onboarding. We're going to design a splash screen, of course, so I'll take lofi design again, and here we are. So you could check for templates, you could check for all these things, and I could say templates, and right here you see everything you need to see. You see your mobile, so I'll choose mobile, of course. And the first thing I want to create right now, you could say onboarding. So we could create something like onboarding as well, and you see app introduction and all that. So you could take any of these as your onboarding, just to onboard your user. If you want to know the meaning of onboarding, you could check the meaning of onboarding. Is what you use to welcome your user to a mobile app, just to show them how to go about the mobile app using, and how to go about the user interface. So it says onboarding is a human resource industry term referring to the process of introducing a newly hired employee into an organization, but in terms of design it means you're introducing your user to the app or the product. So that's what onboarding is. So you could see different onboarding style right here. So you could see get started and all that. So let's do something like this as our onboarding. So I'm going to add this template right now, and that is that for that. So we have a simple design right here that we can use for onboarding. That's what it literally means, and here we are. So you could add more. So let's add something else. Let's add a wireframe template, and we're going to add from onboarding, let's say we are going to have a launch screen as well. So let's choose a launch screen as well. So we could take one of these launch screen to be used for our design. So we could have something like this. So let's do something like this, and this will be our screen. Yes, so we could have something like this. So we could say this will be our launch screen. So the launch screen starts first from our wireframe, and the next thing will be getting started. And another thing, we're going to add another kind of wireframe. So let's go to our wireframe, and let's say we're going to add something like a login and sign up. Yes, so let's say we have to have something like this. So we're going to create something like this, something like login and sign up. So let's see how we could go about that. So we could take one of these. So let's say what would suit this app we're trying to create right now. So you could use any of these as well. So let's say we want to use something as simple as this. So you could just add that template, and we have that wireframe as well. So this is this for this. So this is the basic sign up, and we are going to have that as well. So we have this wireframe as well. So we are creating our wireframe with VCD easily this way. I'm going to add more. I'm going to say wireframe template, and we're going to have the app home page. So after the O, login, sign up, launch screen, onboarding, so we're going to have the app home page. So you could come here to choose something to be used as your home page. So since we are creating something more like product listing, so you could see different home page design, all you have to do is to choose one what to use for yourself. So you could use any of these and all that. So we could take any of these templates. So I love something like, I think something like this will not be bad. So let's take something like that. So I'm going to add this template to be our home page, and we have something like this, as you could see from here. So what this literally means is that we have something like this, and you could see from here. So the onboarding, after the sign-in, you have the onboarding. Yes, the sign-in comes here. Yes, and the login comes here. So those are the, how many screens will that be right now? That will be 1, 2, 3, because we're going to design all the screens. So this will be 1, 2, 3, and this will be the fourth. Okay, so we're going to have something like this as well. So we're going to just, yes, let's proceed with that. So let's have another wireframe. So I'm going to add another community wireframe template, and since we have the product listings and all that, so let's see what else we can do. So let's say we want to have the pricing and subscription, the settings. So let's design one more wireframe. So we're going to edit that. So let's see what else we can add to what we have. So let's see other templates. Let's see what we have. Let's see other templates right here, and we are going to have other templates: terms and condition, choose, share earth information, articles, action. Okay, something like this. So you could see everything you have to see from here, and you could go back. You could say you don't want other templates, and you could go back to check what else we have. So you could go back to check what else we could add right now. So we have settings, we have notification. Okay, let me just use a notification, or let's say pricing and subscription. Yes, pricing and subscription would make sense. So let's do something like this, and let's see something else we could add. So I'm going to choose something like subscription plans. This, let me choose this, let me add this to my template, and this has been added to my template. So what I want to try show you is that we are going to use one of these. As you could see, these are services, so we're going to use one of these to link this to this. So this will be our full wireframe, and the next thing I want to do now is to share this. So what I want to do now is to share this, and I would say share this. And having to share this, all you have to do is to come to your link settings or come to your permission settings. So you see the share, you see the export. So you could export all these in PDF or any format you want to export it, or you could easily convert them to something you could use on your Figma, just like we did earlier on. So all I have to do is to download this file, and I'll download the 5 screens, and I'm going to just bring them into my Figma dashboard. So what I'm going to do now is to try to use the plugin, the VCD plugin. So I'm going to come to plugins, and I'm going to come to VCD. You know, we installed this plugin earlier on. So I'm going to come to VCD and I'm going to choose that plugin, and all I have to do is to click or drop to import file. So what I just downloaded is this VCD, so I'm going to open that and I'm going to bring that in easily. So we're going to have the wireframe launched here on our Figma dashboard. So I'm going to wait for that to import all the designs. So we have our wireframe right here, so wait for that to get launched and let's see how that goes for us. So we're going to import all the designs and we're going to see how to go from here. So we're going to wait for all that, and having to wait for all that, everything has been imported and we have our designs right here. So here we are and we are good to go. So this can be used to design whatever I want to design right now, and we're going to continue from there. So let's proceed and I'm going to finish up this design. So we're going to proceed in the next lesson. I hope to see you in the next lesson. See you there.